Well, man, I feel like our lives are always preparing us for what's next, right? Like
Absolutely.
like I have such a hodgepodge of things in my life that you wouldn't think would make sense. I've been a karaoke host, I've been a professional wrestler, I've been a cab driver,
Wow.
right? I've done all of these different things that, if you add them all together, makes for the perfect podcast host, right? Like, just
It's a combination of a lot of things
yeah,
that make you who you are. I actually wrote a song called Soul Casserole, which is on my last album
yeah,
that Bill produced. It's mainly cover songs for the Righteous. It was geared toward the Righteous Brothers audience, so I'm doing a lot of ballads. But I did one of my originals on there. It's called Soul Casserole. It's kind of a, I don't know if you're familiar with the band Tower of Power,
a
but
little
Tower
bit,
of Power,
yeah,
they're kind of a funky
yep,
R&B. It's about how the music, like there's really no original music. We're just a hodgepodge of the artists that influenced us. So like my the song goes a table. So I am a tablespoon of Marvin Gaye, a dash of Otis on the dock of the bay. Simmer till it's James Brown. Sprinkle it down with the tears of a clown. Tina Turner set the burner on high. Sam cook it till it's caramelized. All these. So my soul casserole are artists that made me who I am as a vocalist. My influences.
yeah,
And Bill's soul casserole is Ray Charles and Little Richard
yep,
and those guys, and that also applies to your career. The things in your life that happen, like
very
you
true.
said,
Yep.
all the things that you've done in your life is what's making you great at what you're doing now.
Yep. Yeah, it's so true. Man, let's talk about what you are doing now. That's called a perfect segue, ladies and gentlemen. So you're pretty much becoming a solo artist now, and so you're going to be living under your own name now, which is a whole new pressure. Let's be
Yeah.
honest, right? But also, I mean, you got this new record that's coming out with a couple of singles that are already out from it that people can go and listen to. One is called My Best Days. Another is called It Is What It Is Till It Ain't, which I love the title, the alliterativeness of that, and I love both of those songs. Um, uh,
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about the record, because I haven't heard it yet, but I have heard and seen some words and stuff on it, that it's going to be a huge variety between up tempo and ballads. And
Yeah.
you did mention that you are more well known for the ballad and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but there's going to be a lot of up tempo songs on this record too, and that is important. That diversity in a record, right? So tell us about the
100%.
record. It was done by Nashville producer Bob Bullock, who everybody knows who Bob Bullock is. So that's a huge thing as well. Really excited about this. When's it coming out? And tell us more about it.
We're shooting for a release date. It's funny because back when I was first starting, you'd release the whole album, but nowadays you release one single and we're
Waterfalling.
also,
Yep.
yeah, and we're producing music videos, which you've seen.
Hmm.
Uh, so we released the first single June 27th, which was My Best Days, and then about 8 days later we released the video to My Best Days, which is a great video. It's Bill
Hmm.
basically starts out at my 9th birthday, and I blow out the candles on different eras of my life, and Bill Medley is kind of in the background, and only I can see him. And it's based on a true. My mom in 19. Cliff tells me not to give the date because I'm going to age myself. And we'll just say my 9th birthday. Rock and Roll Heaven was my favorite Righteous Brothers song, and my mom bought me the 45.
Wow.
And it reenacts that. We hired all these little actors to play me in 1970, whatever, 4 or 5, and that's a long time ago. But and it starts there, and then I blow the count, and Bill's in the background, and I look around and see him, and he does this. And then the mom turns around and he's gone. And then it goes to the 80s and he's sitting at the bar stool behind me. And I slam a beer in 1987, which I did a lot of. And I turn around to order another beer, and Bill's sitting at the bar and he points at me, and it's like I almost recognize him. Well, thank you. Yeah, happy birthday. Thank you. And then it cuts back to the wide shot and he's gone. Then it goes to me in the studio in 2007 and Bill's there, and again he's gone. And then it shows he and I on the Righteous Brothers stage, and he walks off the stage and leaves me by myself. And then I bow to him and I raise my head up, and it's the Bucky Heard show.
Just
And
such a biographical video, right?
oh, 100%. My brother plays me in 2000s. He's only 4 years younger than me, but he doesn't have the beard and he doesn't have as much gray as me right now. But that started. That was the first song we released off the album, and Ken Blasey wrote that song. And it was
Wow.
actually cut. Yeah, he wrote Garth Brooks' first #1 hit, Tomorrow Never Comes. He wrote Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up. And he actually ended up writing 3 songs that are on my album because they're just so good.
Yeah.
So 3 of 8 songs on the album Ken Blasey wrote with another couple of writers. One of the writers is Marv. I'm blank right now, but he wrote. He also wrote. I think he wrote "Amazed" by Lone Star. Maybe I'm amazed.
Oh, Marv Green. Marv Green.
Marv Green. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what a song.
Great writer.
So anyway, so then we released the video. So then we just released "It Is What It Is Till It Ain't," which is Bill says that all the time. You hear "It Is What It Is." Yeah, it is what it is. But it is what it is till it ain't. And I took that turn and I went in and I wrote at the Jonas Brothers have a publishing company, Jonas Entertainment on Music Row, and I went down and wrote with a girl named Terry Jo Box and a guy named Pat Trick, he goes by Trick Savage, and I said I want to take this concept of it is what it is and I want to turn it into a positive. So whereas initially we were thinking, it is what it is till it ain't. You date this girl, you think she's the one, and then she starts showing up your door at 3 a.m. going, "Why didn't you call me?" So it is what it is till it ain't. And Terry said, "Well, let's take this song and let's try to make it something positive." So, it is what it is till it ain't. The opening line is grab that bull by the horns and hang on. Take the chance when the chance comes along, because clocks don't run backwards and you can't go skipping chapters. Life comes at you fast and it's gone.
Yep.
It is what it is till it ain't. A wave is a wave till it breaks. An open door's open until it starts closing. So, and I said, I want to go for this really Bob Seger, John Fogerty. I want to bring back that Southern fried rock, that gritty. And so we went from My Best Days, which is a really pretty, beautiful song. So It Is What It Is Till It Ain't dropped on the 1st. And then we released the song, I think the video was released on like the 7th.
It was like 6 days later. Yeah. And we did the video down in Branson. My buddy Craig, there's a cool bar there called Crazy Craig's Cheeky Monkey. And we recorded it there. And I called in all my friends that are actors and dancers. And my buddy Punch had a great Mexican feast spread for us. I catered it. And we shot it there at Crazy Craig's. And it turned out really amazing. And actually, right now we're being featured in Taste of Country in Nashville. They're voting right now for the top 10 videos, and I'm number 2 right now. So, nice. Very
you go
good
to Taste
stuff.
of Country, Bucky Heard, but that video turned out real good. The next one we're doing next month, I'm flying into Branson to the video. We're going to release Crying next month. The single drops right around the 7th or 8th, I think, of October, and then the video will drop right after that. But it's going to be a shot black and white. It's a different version of Crying. The music director for my project, for my album, is none other than the amazing Chris Lusinger, who has been with Garth Brooks since 1980. Every solo on every Garth Brooks hit, that's Chris.
Yep.
And we're driving Bob Bullock and I are driving to the studio. We recorded my album at Curb Studios in Nashville. And we're on our way to the studio to work with the rhythm section, which is Eddie Bayer, who's house drummer for the Grand Ole Opry, and Mike Brignordello and Michael, all these great top of the line Nashville. Bob Bullock brought in the A-team.
Yeah.
And Chris calls us on the phone, and Bob puts him on the phone speaker, and he goes, "Oh, listen, I've got an idea for Crying of how to the intro. I'd like to do an intro where the audience doesn't recognize it's Crying until you actually say, 'I was all right.'" Kind of like what Katie Lang did.
Yeah.
When she did the live version, you don't know it's Crying until she starts singing.
Right.
At the listening party, we had all the people that were part of and they were listening. And as soon as I go, "I was all right," whoa. So it's almost like if Chris Isaacs wrote the beginning of it. It's a great arrangement. So that'll drop next, and then the video will drop. And then there's a song called Ride the Lightning, which we're really gearing toward the rodeo, NFR. It sounds like a bull riding freaking song.
Nice.
And that'll be the next one. And then the whole album will drop sometime mid-November.
Nice.
Around that. The album's called Breathless.
Okay.
And there are 8 songs on it. And Crying is the only cover that I'm doing. The rest of them are originals, and they're beautiful. Like you said, lots of beautiful ballads, but all the songs are meaningful in that I told my team, I said, I don't want to, when they were reaching out to these song pluggers, I don't want to sing about getting drunk. I don't want to sing about partying and trucks and trains and dirt roads and all that. I want to sing about meaningful things.
Yep.
So even the rock songs, like It Is What It Is, has a positive message.
They have to be relevant, right? Like, you have to stand out nowadays. There's so much oversaturation in the music business.
Oh, big time, man. And everything sounds, I'm not putting down, but I wanted something that sounds different.
You're not wrong. Everything does sound the same. I know that's what you were going to say, but yeah, it's true.
Everybody is scared to, we can't do. I mean, I faced that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob and I are of the same mindset to where we want to step outside the box.
You have to. Because you look at the people who are standing outside the box, and they're the ones that people are listening to. I mean,
Garth Brooks. Yeah. Garth Brooks changed country music.
Well, look at nowadays, Sierra Farrell. She is clearly outside of every box, and she is just getting so much notice.
Because you got to do that.
Yeah.
But people are scared to do that.
Yeah.
They're scared to do that because Nashville, it's very particular about what they will accept. And a lot of these, I'm eventually going to approach. I'm doing everything independently right now.
Yeah.
To get everything off the ground. The album's done, the videos are done. Then I'm going to go to a couple of labels and say, we've done all the work. I just need you to push it,
Yeah.
And so that's kind of clipping the plan. But I could have, and let's be honest, I'm not stupid. I know I'm an older artist, but I have the Righteous Brothers name behind me all these years, even though that's not country. I've been performing for thousands of people across the country.
Your voice is ageless, man. That's all that matters. Like,
yeah. And I keep myself in good shape. I'm trying to go for the young Chris Christopherson look, but I'm an encourager of people. Like, my big message in my live shows and on this album is dreams do not have a shelf life. I am living proof, and I want to encourage you through my songs. And I'm not going to preach to these people, and I don't preach to them, but I encourage them that if you've got a dream, like I close my show with a really cool version of Don't Stop Believing by Journey, because I do Creedence Clearwater in my show.
Yeah.
Because that's part of my journey.
I mean, that is part of that's part of your path, man. That should be part of your
And the
show.
Eagles, we do Heartache Tonight by the Eagles, a real cool version of that. And then I sprinkle these originals in between those. And my show, Bill went to both. I've done 2 shows in Vegas, my shows, and Bill was at both of them. I do Unchained Melody in the show, and crying. And Bill's like, you know what, man? He goes, the show's great. He said, you have touched onto something. You found your brand. You're this rugged rock and roll singer with a message of love and kindness and hope. And that's what I want to bring.
Love it.
That's what I can bring. I've lived a lifetime of memories, and I can encourage these guys. I don't care if you're 8, I don't care if you're 80. Take that dream off the shelf, dust it off, and take steps and work towards it, because it can happen. I became a Righteous Brother right around 50 years old.
Yeah.
What if I'd given up?
I mean, not a lot. Yeah, it's badass.